Sir,
Start,
yes, sir.
madam.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
on, sir.
I'm
Actually, I
starting, sir.
disconnect due to the network problem. I changed the place. Okay, you can start, madam.
So first of all, I would like to welcome everyone, all the dignitaries, and as in, I think that the stalwarts of biology sitting over here. So I'm going to present a topic, which is when the am I audible, sir? Can you hear me?
Very clear, ma'am.
Ye-
Very clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, sir.
Absolutely clear.
Yes, Neha.
Yeah. So when Alok sir asked that you have to present a topic, I was not able to think of something because presenting something in front of you, in all of you people is like such very big thing for me. And I was thinking of what to take, what is difficult to, or what is something which is more interesting. So I thought that what is that difficult for you guys? It's not something that nothing is difficult actually. So that's why I thought of a topic which is very relevant, and at the same time there is a the one saying came in my mind, "Dekhan mein chotan lage, khao kare gambhir." So it's a small topic, very which is not like you don't have to put a lot of energy or understanding to put in. But yes, it's a very big problem when it comes to society, when it's come to individual, when it comes to family. So that's why I'm going to present my topic to you all. So so I'm going to share this.
Welcome to sir, Mitra sir, observer sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. And please accept my warm greetings, all of you, please.
Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
So is my screen visible, sir?
Clear. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, yes.
So the topic I'm introducing today is drug and alcohol abuse. So with the help of Alok sir, I actually asked him how to present this, in a more effective way. He gave me a very brilliant idea that I used a bit. So the next slide, as you can see, what is the similarity in the pictures, in both the pictures given over here in this slide? Sir, it's very evident that what are the similarities in between both of them. So as you can see, both are
They are
surgeons.
doing some work, operating means operation
Yeah,
work they are
yes,
doing,
yes.
means medical field.
They are surgeons.
And they are surgery. Yes. Surgery.
Neha, madam.
Yeah.
Neha, madam.
Yes, sir.
Just remove
Yes,
that
sir.
panel. Stop sharing panel from there by pressing that hide button. Hide icon.
Okay. Okay.
And press that F5 button, slideshow button.
Okay, sir. Just a minute.
Yeah, right.
Thanks, sir. Thanks for the help. Yeah, so it's very evident that these two are the surgeons. They are getting ready. One is actually performing the surgery. In between the surgery, other one is getting ready for performing the surgery. So there are many common things over here, but this both are the stills from some movie. One movie was suggested by sir, and other one Alok sir, and other one I actually came forward with. One more very common thing is there in between these two people, which is not evident from the picture, that both have a very unique habit. The unique habit is that surgery, it's a very precise function. It's a thing which is very related with the life and death of the patient. So the person needs 100% concentration. All the focus should be there on the patient only. So these two surgeons are specifically, they have a very unique, habit that before surgery, they need to be absolutely intoxicated with either some sort of drug and some amount of wine or alcohol or something. Means they perform their surgery in inebriated condition, which is quite uncommon, but that's how the thing it is. So this is one of the things that I wanted to start with. and there are certain facts which is present all over the world. So there are few facts over here. Each day, around 6 people die of alcohol poisoning. It's a statistics of India specifically. So these are the registered deaths more than and we don't have any idea regarding unregistered deaths as well. Second fact, more than 7 million people suffer from illicit drug use disorder, and 1 in 4 deaths can be attributed to alcohol, tobacco, and illicit or prescription drug use. An estimated 14% of adults with an illicit substance use disorder reported receiving treatment in this past year. And these are only the registered facts. We don't have any idea about the unregistered things. Mean to say that what exactly is happening every day is regarding this term that we are going to introduce today, that is drug and alcohol abuse. I will talk about my personal experiences because when I was very little, so when we used to hear the term drug, so it was always taken in a bad manner. कि somebody is using the terms drugs, then वो फिर chemical shop में जाके जब देखते थे लिखा रहता था chemist and druggist, तो because idea नहीं था कि what exactly drugs mean, so you always used to take it negative way. But later on, जैसे we studied and we understood कि what exactly, it is very necessary to understand the exact meaning of the term drugs. Okay, because it could be misleading. It could be misleading for teenagers like I was at that time, for teenagers like me. So first of all, we need to understand the proper definition of drugs. What exactly drugs are. So if you will Google it, or if you will take reference from any of the dictionaries, the immediate meaning shows that it is a chemical which is used as a medicine. Whereas the second definition goes as a chemical which people use to give them pleasant or exciting feelings. Okay, which generally suppresses any type of stress or give them a sense of euphoria or something. Okay, so this is the proper definition of any of the drug. Source, if you talk about, generally the source of these drugs are the flowering plants and some fungi.
Mitra ma'am.
Yes, sir.
Mitra ma'am,
Yes,
your
sir.
voice is not coming properly. Voice is not coming properly. It's bubbling, ma'am.
I think this side is clear, sir.
Maybe due to network problem.
This time it is clear.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
this
my Wi-Fi showing
also
full
is
this
clear.
time. Okay, sir. Shall I continue? So as we also teach the student in class 12 in the chapter microbes in human welfare, where we teach them that how different microorganisms are utilized.
Voice is cracking, ma'am. Voice is cracking.
But I can hear your voice very clearly.
ये तो problem आज होगा आज.
You are also very clear voices, sir.
Shall I continue, sir?
Voice is clear, Neha.
Yeah, I can also hear very clearly others.
Little bit.
Okay,
these
so
things
I am
will happen.
continuing.
Little bit. थोड़ा ये problem
Yeah,
आएंगे,
yeah.
but should not stop for this. I think. If it
Okay,
goes
sir,
for
okay, sir.
long, then we'll report.
Okay, sir. So as I was saying, that we also teach the students in the chapter microbes and human welfare that how the microorganisms are manipulated. We manipulate for them for different kind of substances, and then we use it for purpose. So the first question that came in my mind when the first time I studied in there, so I remember it very clearly, that why do such drugs are there in the flowering plants, or such substances are present in the flowering plants which has got some properties, this kind of property. So first time that I studied about, I remember I was reading about calotropis. That calotropis is a kind of plant which is which if any of the herbivore grazes it, they have some sort of gastrointestinal problem. Then there is diarrhea. So indigestion is basically what they will have. So the next question came in mind, that why do the plants or fungi, whichever organisms we are talking about, they have this kind of chemicals or substance in it. So the plants or fungi or the microorganism, they have these kind of chemical naturally for their defense against the grazers. If we specifically talk about plants, so against the grazers and browsers. So what we exactly now know is that what exactly drugs are, what are the sources, and if plants are one of the important source, then why do the plants has it? Next, as we are the one of the most selfish species, so we try to use everything for our welfare. So yeah, the question comes, that next question which came in my mind, that how are they useful for human beings? So these substances are generally used for the medical purposes, and this is regarding then doses control is also there. So these are generally used for lowering blood pressure, curing infection, relieving pain, that is painkillers, treating psychological disorders, insomnia, depression, and many more. Basically, most of them are actually, if a specific category, if I talk about, they are basically designed to treat the psychological disorders. So though they have an inherent property of being addictive in nature, this is the, what do you say, one of the key factor of these drugs, that they are addictive in nature. This is the reason why that if you go and meet the doctor regarding any kind of like insomnia, I have seen people in my family, so they are getting medicine for this, but the doctor always say that कि कोशिश कीजिए नेचुरल तरीके से नींद आए, don't use these drugs, इसकी आदत मत लगाइए, because again the same thing, the same property, that these are addictive in nature. Now exactly this drug and alcohol abuse, this phenomena, is to understand that सबसे पहले we need to understand कि ये हमारे सोसाइटी से एसोसिएटेड कैसा है, कैसे एसोसिएटेड है, and specifically which category of people are there which are getting most affected out of it, and which category जिसके लिए affected होना is a threat to the whole society. So that's why we specifically talk about adolescence, because we all know it is such a dynamic phase जिसमें एक बच्चा is transforming into an adult, and ये बहुत ही important और dynamic phase होता है. So that's why we are going to next deal regarding adolescence and drug and alcohol abuse, कि specifically in this category of or इस stage of life only क्यों humans में देखा गया है maximum amount of drug abuse or alcohol abuse. So we all know that adolescence is the bridge between childhood and adulthood. It is a very vulnerable phase. Vulnerable, we all are very well acquainted with the term. They are open to many things. So there is a positive side of it, there is a negative side of it. So it is a very vulnerable phase of mental and psychological development of an individual. Specifically in this age, the use of drug and alcohol occurs out of curiosity and experimentation. This is the most common reason which to ये कुछ फेज ही वैसा है. But this is the reason why this experimentation, this curiosity later turns into addiction. Drugs and alcohol, when taken for other purpose than medicine or taken in amounts or frequencies that disturbs the physical, physiological or psychological functions, this condition is called as drug abuse or alcohol abuse. So there are two things over here. One is what exactly drug is, and other is what exactly drug abuse or alcohol abuse is. So we need to understand that what exactly drug abuse or alcohol abuse is, because this is something which is used by us in everyday life. People who are having some sort of specific conditions, medical condition, they are taking these kind of medication. But that could not be called as abuse. So that's why it is necessary to have a clear picture what is the meaning of drug abuse or alcohol abuse. Let's go to the next slide. Okay, so now we are in a state to understand what exactly drugs and all, what are the different properties of it, why we are dealing with this topic regarding human welfare and all. So let's see what are the different types or categories of drugs in order to understand in a better way. So drugs, as we have already discussed earlier, that mostly the source of these drugs are the flowering plants and some fungi. So on the basis of their sources and what are the characteristics, they have been divided into the following categories. The first category we are going to talk about is opioids. Opioids or opiates are the drugs that bind with the opioid receptor present in our central nervous system and gastrointestinal tract. So as we all know that multiple type of receptors are present all over our body, and sorry for there is a spelling mistake I see just now. So it's a special category of drugs which has got narcotic. That means they are capable of inducing it's a kind of calling some sort of what do you say? ये नशा का इसमें ये है, addiction is there. Analgesic is the term जो हम लोग generally जो fever को control करने की medicine होते हैं उसके लिए इस्तेमाल करते हैं. Sedative means जिसे कि suppression या नींद या slow down करने के लिए, and astringent effects. So these are a range of effects which are caused by the opioids. Now this single opioid is utilized in multiple ways. इसको एक सिंगल प्लांट के डिफरेंट पार्ट्स को मल्टीपल वेज में मैनिपुलेट करके देन इट इज यूटिलाइज्ड. जिसमें सबसे पहला जो मेडिकल पर्पस के लिए विच वाज यूज्ड इज morphine was the first thing which was extracted from the latex of poppy plant. Poppy plant, scientific name is Papaver somniferum, we all are well aware of, and specifically being biology teachers, we were well aware what exactly morphine is. What was the main use of morphine? What is the main use of morphine? So morphine is generally sedative. It's an effective sedative which is generally used in hospitals and as painkiller. Specifically, it is used for those जिनकी कोई important surgery, खासकर transplantation, इस तरह की कुछ heavy surgery होती है, severe surgery होती है. In this case, morphine is an effective sedative जो generally patients को दिया जाता है. Now, as I said, as you can see the picture of the poppy plant over here, there is the inflorescence, there's a stem. These are very clear over here. And the chemical structure, the skeletal structure of opioid is also here. Sorry, is here. So here it is such a topic. In class, the students are like very, on their toes to understand these terms because this is something that actually they are going through this. So they want to know what are the different ways, what are the different types of it. So next, after morphine that we talk about is heroin. Heroin is actually commonly called as smack. It is a white, crystalline, odorless and bitter compound which is obtained by acetylation of morphine. Here, it depends upon us in class whether you want to go in further in detail in acetylation of morphine or not. So I would really like to know from other teachers, sir, क्या आप लोग acetylation of morphine को further explain करते हैं या सिर्फ उसका meaning बता के you just leave it?
No, generally we do not go in much further details.
Yes,
generally, sir. Molecular formula was given in my class. Molecular formula of the cell. Yes. Not in detail, ma'am.
Molecular structure is asked in sometimes in board examinations.
Yes, it has come.
Yes.
Practice.
Yes.
Not more than this.
So this I wanted to know from you, you people present over here, that whether acetylation of morphine should be dealt further or not. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thanks for your suggestions. So it is the process. Heroin is a powder bitter compound which is obtained by acetylation of morphine, and it is actually diacetyl morphine. Okay, after acetylation becomes diacetyl morphine. Generally, it is taken by snorting. Snorting is like many times we have seen. Yes. it is taken by snorting. The snorting may they have seen in through the movies and TV बहुत कुछ सिखा दिया है उनको इस उम्र तक. So they exactly know what exactly snorting is. So they take it through the nose, they sniff it actually. Then through injection. The specific feature of heroin is it slows down the body function and it is a depressant. So generally what it does, ये reality से बिल्कुल जो इंसान है उसको कट कर देता है, and because it works like a depressant, so all the body physiological and psychological function slows down, जिससे एक sense of tranquility, शांति ऐसा feel होता है. So this is why the heroin is one of the most common, if you will Google it and you will search about it, one of the most common and one of the most expensive drug is also there. It is there. Let's move further. So as we have studied about opioids, the first category, the second category is cannabinoids, and it is more closer to us Indians specifically. Because I don't know अच्छी या बुरी तरीके से, but it is somewhat involved in our culture, कहीं ना कहीं हमारे इसमें आ गया है. Because I remember my नाना, उनके पूरे घर में उन्होंने भांग की, वो अपने आप को शिव भक्त कहते थे, तो वो भांग की खेती उन्होंने करके रखी थी. So he used to take it occasionally. He used to pluck the leaves and.
It is from age old
Ma'am,
practice.
please change your slide.
Hello, I have changed, sir.
Ma'am, please change your slide, ma'am. Next.
The next slide is
I have.
cannabinoids before us.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Alok, sir, you were saying something?
So I was saying that these things like bhang and all these are age-old practice. These are written in these Vedas also. It's mentioned there.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking. I remember that that Nanaji of mine, when I used to question him, because what we know, वो हमारे स्कूल में जो सिखाते हैं वो हमारे लिए ultimate truth हो जाता है. So I never used to see this as a good thing. I used to ask him कि आप ऐसा क्यों करते हैं? Then he used to tell the thing that you said just now. You exactly don't know, but there are multiple medicinal importance of it. So was not knowing at that age. Yeah. So it is a group of chemical which interact with the cannabinoid receptor present in the brain specifically. There are natural cannabinoids because ये synthetically भी इसको बनाया जाता है. So we are specifically talking about natural cannabinoids over here. These are obtained from the inflorescence of the plant, that is cannabis sativa, और English में hemp या हमारे शुद्ध हिंदी में भांग कहते हैं जिसे. सबसे बड़ी बात ये है इस plant की that each part of this plant is used in multiple ways. So the leaves are there, flower tops are there, and the raisins of cannabis are used in various combinations for the production of marijuana, hashish, जिसको यहाँ people call it hash, and there is very famous Sierras and ganja. And whenever I use these terms in class, we always get a full-blown laughter. What exactly ma'am is teaching in the class. So these are the different derivatives we can say, जो कि different part of hemp से बनती है. Now, how these drugs affect? These drugs are taken by inhalation. Two methods. One is inhalation, and oral injection. Injection is also taken, and it specifically affect the cardiovascular system of the body. So this is the reason why एक sense of euphoria comes, एक energy, जबरदस्त energy, they feel. ये depend करता है regarding different derivatives में कि what would be the effect of this, because her derivative में एक different kind of this property is being used. So these days also it's being abused by some sports person, and जिसके लिए we all know dope test is there. Dope test को ये किया गया है, use किया जाता है. So this is the plant of cannabis sativa, that is hemp. These are the different parts of cannabis that are used. We can see the inflorescence, we can see the leaves are there, okay? And this is the skeletal structure of the cannabinoid molecule. As Alok sir said earlier, this has come in the board exam, so that's why I asked, when I'm teaching this topic, बच्चों को multiple times I asked them to practice this skeletal diagram, because you never know, it might come. Let's come to the next slide. There is one more drug जो कि इंडिया में नेचुरल फॉर्म में उतना फेमस नहीं है. ये स्पेशली इट इज वेरी फेमस इन द साउथ अमेरिकन कंट्रीज एंड इन सम ऑफ द अफ्रीकन कंट्रीज. So it is obtained from the coca plant, which is known as the Erythroxylum coca. It is native to South America. इसके जो derivatives हैं, it is commonly called as coke and crack and is usually snorted. It's one of the most expensive kind of this one drug जो कि इस तरह के मार्केट में सेल होता है. The most expensive type. The cocaine or crack interferes with the transport of dopamine, which is a neurotransmitter. We all know that dopamine is one of the neurotransmitter which induces sleep. Okay, so if you know, this is a kind of drug which actually interferes with that, and it stimulates the central nervous system and produces a sense of euphoria and energy. The person will feel very energetic, very happy. So it is one of the specific kind of जो कि यूथ में मैंने जब मैं when I was preparing the slides तो मैं बस इसके बारे में और थोड़ा पढ़ रही थी तो मैंने देखा यूरोपियन कंट्रीज में ये सबसे फेमस है. दिस इज द मोस्ट फेमस काइंड ऑफ ड्रग जो वहाँ पे टीनेजर्स के में भी अर्ली टीनेजर्स जो है they start to utilize it, and it's specifically because they get a lot of energy out of it, and वो बॉडी को कभी भी रेस्ट नहीं करने देता, माइंड को थकने नहीं देता. And this is the reason why अगर ये excessive doses में use हो, if it is used in excessive doses, it causes hallucinations. Hallucinations means, you know, it is, you know, playing with the mind, not showing the clear picture, not showing the real picture. So this is one of the common problem there in European countries that I have seen earlier. This is the plant of Erythroxylum coca. Now, apart from these, one more category of drugs are specifically hallucinogens, जो कि specifically ये इसको बनाया जाता है for those जिनको mental issues या psychological issues है. This class of drug is specifically designed for them. Hallucinogens, these are obtained from plant like Atropa belladonna. Sorry, I forgot to make it since scientific name. It should have been in italics. So Atropa belladonna is one of the common plant. And dhatura, again, it's like hemp. It is there in our culture only. Lysergic acid diethylamide, which is very famously known as LSD, is most powerful hallucinogen, which is derived from the fungus Claviceps purpurea. This we teach when we teach in the microbe and human welfare. In that, there also we teach about them. So these drugs have effect on cerebrum and sense organs, so are also called as psychedelic drugs. So this class of drugs जिसको specifically psychological disorders को treat करने के लिए design किया गया है, these are specifically called as psychedelic drugs. So next we see is the plants of Atropa belladonna. Then there is the datura, we can see the flower and the fruit itself. And this blackish part, as you can see, this is the fungal part. This is the fungus part of Claviceps purpurea. Okay. Now, how these hallucinogens affect? They affect the feelings, emotions, perceptions, and thoughts. जैसे generally, this is a medication which is given to people who are suffering from insomnia or depression. तो insomnia में what happens when you are not resting? जब आप relax नहीं कर रहे हैं तो brain आपको ऐसी बहुत सारी चीज़ों की तरफ ले जाता है जो real भी नहीं होती, but आप unreal situations को imagine करके people many times hurt themselves as well, and the brain is like really tired but not able to sleep. It is one of the thing. And depression, you know, it is one of India has become one of the capital of youth specifically who are undergoing some sort of depression. Depression को समझने के लिए, you know, there are different इसके एक specific topic है जिसको समझना बहुत ज़रूरी है. And specifically when it comes to teenager, ये इसको समझना और भी ज़रूरी है क्योंकि being teachers, we have a very big contribution in their life. So we will talk about this in detail when we will be talking about the prevention and control, or what is the role of us teachers in their lives. So these are different plants and the sources of hallucinogens. Now one more, अगर बोला जाए बाकी सब तो फिर भी it's not very usual to find other drugs, but this tobacco is such a drug which is we can see in everyday life with multiple people using it. So it is obtained from the tobacco plant, which obviously many of us must have seen, which can be smoked, chewed, or used as a snuff. I was reading somewhere that out of all this, tobacco एक ऐसा drug है जिसकी वजह से maximum type of cancers होते हैं, right from starting from mouth to the walls of the cheek till the gut lining. मतलब various multiple more than 30 type of cancers were there given there जो कि सिर्फ tobacco की वजह से होते हैं. Okay, so tobacco has nicotine which stimulates the adrenal gland to release adrenaline and noradrenaline. So I'm not going to go there in the function of adrenaline and noradrenaline. We all are well aware of it. Increasing the blood pressure and heart rate. So it is actually these two hormones together helps us to compensate with the external environment. What is going out, उसके हिसाब से हमारे body rate को, blood pressure को, heart rate को एक particular sync में लेके आते हैं. Now, what is the effect? What are the effect of tobacco on health? Tobacco chewing has some adverse effect on health. Tobacco can cause lung cancer, cancer of urinary bladder, and throat bronchitis, emphysema, coronary heart disease. ये मैंने some of the names I've given over here. As I told you, there was more than 30 names were there, specifically if you talk about cancers. Okay. Next is smoking these tobacco increases carbon monoxide content in the blood and reduces the concentration of hemoglobin bound oxygen. So it is one of the property that breathing related problems is starting hoti hai generally, thus leading to oxygen deficiency in the body. It is equally harmful for passive smokers. So we are well aware with the terms like active smokers. The person who is smoking is active one, whereas the other one who is not smoking but is in the proximity with that person, they are also inhaling the exact amount of smoke which is present in the active one. So it is harmful for passive smokers. Addicted people require counseling and medical help to get rid of this habit. So these are the drugs, some of the drugs which I have mentioned over here, which there are specific functions, there are specific effects on human, on within other physiological terms, if you talk about. Now there are some other categories of drugs as well, like barbiturates are there, amphetamines are there, benzodiazepines are there, and other similar drugs which are normally used as medicines to help patient cope up with mental illness like depression and insomnia. And these are generally abused. Okay, that's why now these days you can see that without prescription you're not going to get medicine anywhere. I don't know about all the places, but some shops in Hazaribagh medical shop, they don't give any medication, specifically of the medication of this nature. They don't give it without any prescription, and it should not be given as well. Okay, so now ये तो बात हो गई कि भाई ये डिफरेंट एस्पेक्ट्स है ड्रग्स का, दीज आर द ये यहाँ से आता है नॉल. Now the question eventually बात आके रुकती है, since we are talking about drug abuse. So it eventually depends upon the person, the abuser. The person who is going to transform, whether it's going to transform into an abuser or not. So what are the most common reasons, though there are many, but some of the common reasons that we are looking at for taking drugs and alcohol. So the first one, I have seen like many friends of ours, mine, they have went out, फिर से वो बाहर पढ़ने चले गए, and when they came back with a different personality and all. एक चीज जो सब में मुझे कॉमन दिखी ज्यादातर में, that they have taken any type of addiction, किसी ना किसी तरह का नशा उन्होंने जो पहली चीज की है, because of some दोस्त has said that. ये some of the सबसे कॉमन है, because ये वो एज होता है when the friend is most important, whatever the friends say. So the first common reason for taking these drugs are social and peer pressure. ये क्योंकि because everybody wants to belong somewhere, सबको किसी न किसी specific group से या किसी दोस्त के साथ, they want to belong somewhere. ये वैसी एज ही है. तो जिसकी वजह से दोस्त ने कहा कि चलो इससे एक बार से कुछ नहीं होता है एंड लेट्स ट्राई दिस, तो भले आपका इनर सेल्फ बोल रहा है दैट इट इज नॉट राइट, बट सिंस everybody is doing it and your friend, so-called friend, is doing it and if the person is saying it, so we just go for it. So the first most important and most I can say that sabse bada contributory factor is the social and peer pressure. Second is curiosity, which is the, you can say, which is inevitable in this age. Adolescence में जो सबसे inevitable होता है curiosity, सब कुछ जानने की इच्छा, जो चीज मना किया वो तो जानने की ज्यादा इच्छा होती है. So curiosity and need for adventure, excitement and experiment. So this is such an age, अब आप इसको biological reasons बोले, psychological reasons बोलिए, but these factors जो है इस particular age में ये body में कुछ ज़्यादा ही, दिमाग में कुछ ज़्यादा ही इसका contribution रहता है इन 3 चीज़ों का. Next is to avoid stress, depression and frustration. So as हमने देखा that many of the drugs, they have depressant kind of nature, जो कि फिजियोलॉजिकल और साइकोलॉजिकल इसको एक्टिविटीज को स्लो डाउन कर देते हैं, सेरेब्रम को स्लो डाउन कर देते हैं. सो दे आर नॉट वेल अवेयर दैट व्हाट इज गोइंग आउट, दे डोंट थिंक अबाउट दैट. सो दे फील लाइक कि चलो आफ्टर टेकिंग दिस बहुत परेशान है, चिंता हो रही है. जैसे एक जनरल चीज देखी होगी, दोज हु आर स्मोकर्स, उनको थोड़ा सा भी स्ट्रेस होता है, दे immediately they go and start smoking, because it gives them वो जो एक स्ट्रेस दिमाग में बिल्टअप होता है इस ड्रग के नेचर की वजह से, दैट इज उसको ये डाउन कर देता है, सप्रेस कर देता है. नेक्स्ट इज टू ओवरकम हार्डशिप्स. यू मस्ट से दैट दिस इज द गिफ्ट ऑफ द इंडियन मूवी. ज्यादातर मूवी में इफ द हीरो इज नॉट फीलिंग वेल या कुछ परेशानी है, सम सॉर्ट ऑफ थिंग हैज हैपेंड, चलो भाई let's go take sharan of some sort of drug, either smoking or taking some sort of drug or alcohol. This is one of the most common thing which I've seen in our Indian movies, is to overcome hardships. Next is avoid unsupportive or unstable family structure. Actually in sabhi mein agar aap bole to one of the most foundation और सबसे बड़ा जो contributory reason होता है is this: family. Family matters a lot. What is the kind of environment you have, which kind of relationship you have with your parents, whether you're open to them or not, ये सब बहुत matter करता है. Whether the parents are ready to hear the children out or not, ये सब बहुत ज़्यादा matter करता है. And आप बोल सकते हो this is one of such reason which could be mother to the other reasons. Okay. And next is perception that it is cool or progressive as a result of ill effects of social media, television, etc. As I was telling you, that when in movies Shah Rukh Khan is smoking, wearing aviators, so he looks very cool, and the child is a fan of him. So why not? अगर मैं भी करूँगा तो I will also look cool like him. So एक बहुत ही ये immature age का एक ये result है कि what they see they perceive and they don't understand the implications beyond that. उसके पीछे का implications वो समझ नहीं पाते. It is looking cool, it is looking very जैसे आज के youth term इस्तेमाल करते हैं, it is very updated, it is very so this is the reason why, एक बहुत ही important reason है कि ये social media, television, this is one thing that it has कहीं ना कहीं अगर ये इसको combat करने में help करता है तो कहीं ना कहीं इसको आगे बढ़ाने में भी contribute किया है unknowingly, unknowingly आप जो भी बोल सकते हैं. Okay, now that 2 terms, ठीक है, जिसको clarify करना बहुत जरूरी है, समझना बहुत जरूरी है. So these are the 2 basic parameters which force the person to become addicted to one or the other forms of drugs. The first parameter is addiction. The second is dependence. Though it's a एक ही सिक्के के 2 पहलू है, but there is little bit of difference in between them. And in order to understand one, you need to understand the other one. That's why we will be talking about these in detail. So let's first of all understand what exactly addiction is. It is a psychological attachment to certain effects such as euphoria and temporary feeling of well-being associated with drugs and alcohol. Like ये एक आपकी बॉडी को जरूरत नहीं है, बट सिंस यू आर फीलिंग डाउन, सिंस यू आर नॉट फीलिंग वेल, सो what you are doing, I want to feel good, I want to feel elevated, energetic feel karna hai, the euphoria means that only, you want to feel elevated and all. So isko bhai drugs se, alcohol se, is acha feel karne ki feeling ko they just associate with the drugs and alcohol ki chalo I'll take one sip, I'll take one injection, I'll feel okay. But they're not exactly understanding this ki ye ek karke hi they eventually have become addicted to such kind of drugs. And then after that, what happens? That it makes a person to take a break from regular basis, even when they are not needed, or even when their use becomes self-destructive. And उसके बाद पहले तो जरूरत लग रही थी कि भाई अच्छा नहीं फील हो रहा है, so I will take one injection or take this one glass of alcohol, तो ठीक लगेगा. उसके बाद फिर people will start to look for some sort of excuse once the body has become addicted, some sort of excuse to use these drugs. And without realizing, as I said, specifically अगर adolescents की बात के, they are more associated or more inclined towards what is the immediate result. वो लोग immediate result में ज़्यादा यकीन करते हैं, rather what are the far implications, क्या हो सकता है उसके बारे में. Next is dependence. It is a tendency of the body to show unpleasant and characteristic withdrawal syndrome if the dose of alcohol or drug is discontinued abruptly. सबसे जनरल मेथड जो एक फैमिली में देखा गया कि अगर घर में किसी को ड्रग डिपेंडेंसी है, पता चल गई, तो जो पहला तरीका इस्तेमाल होता है, सीधे उसके सप्लाई को कट कर दिया जाता है. बट वी नीड, बिकॉज दिस इज द जनरल थिंग, ये ऐसी कोई मतलब जनरल फैमिली, जनरल पर्सन, लेमैन कैन बिहेव, विल बिहेव इन दैट वे ओनली. But since the body has become dependent upon that dose of drug or upon that alcohol or drug, so then it shows different kind of implications. बहुत सारा उसमें फिर जो child है उसके body में repercussions, बहुत सारा reactions नजर आता है, जिसको all together एक नाम दिया गया है, that is withdrawal syndrome. Now, what are the things which comes in the withdrawal symptoms? Withdrawal symptoms are anxiety, shakiness, nausea, sweating. In fact, in many cases, it has been seen that the person becomes so mentally unstable that it becomes life-threatening as well, because the body has become so much dependent upon the use of that drug now that the person cannot think straight, not able to even do anything, think anything, it's a simple thing. So these may sometimes be life-threatening too. Dependency pushes the person towards social adjustment problems, and this is generally seen that people who are specifically teenagers who are addicted or dependent upon, ये ज़्यादातर अकेले रहना पसंद करते हैं. They like this aloofness. They don't want to meet people. They don't want to do anything. They are a separate entity altogether, जिसमें वो socialize नहीं करना चाहते, and they don't want to do anything adjustment thing, any किसी तरह का adjustment नहीं करना चाहते. They are like all together एक aloof entity बन के रहना चाहते हैं. There is a slide which I thought that I should include it here. So these are some of the symptoms. So symptoms are urge to use the drugs regularly. जैसे मैंने पहले कहा that पहले लगता है कि जब initially लगता है कि जब stress हो रहा है तब लेना चाहिए, उसके बाद ढूंढ लेने के बहाने ढूंढते हैं. Second, intense craving for the drug regularly, because body has become dependent. तो उसके बाद the body will कुछ भी करने से पहले they need that particular drug, to function normally. Thought blocking, कुछ सोच ही नहीं आता, they cannot think. I have seen this thing that smokers specifically, अगर उनको किसी भी तरह का स्ट्रेस होगा या कुछ भी सोचने के लिए कहा जाएगा, unless and until they take a drag, जो स्मोक नहीं करते, they cannot think straight. And इसकी वजह से what happens next is large intake of drugs, क्योंकि बॉडी धीरे धीरे लेते लंबे समय तक लेने की वजह से that particular dose become resistant. उसके बाद उतने डोज से उनको कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ेगा. अब उनको वो सेंसेशन चाहिए, वो फीलिंग चाहिए, then they need to take higher amount of that drug. Next is spending all money on drugs, क्योंकि दिमाग में और कुछ आता ही नहीं है. The brain becomes like this, the body becomes like that. So they don't think about growth के बारे में, saving के बारे में, anything else or any other things they don't want to think about. All the money is spent on this. And lastly, ignoring personal obligations. As a person, we all have some sort of role to play in a family, in society. But since neither the body and the brain is functioning properly, तो आपस में कोई sync नहीं है. As a result of which, there is no कोई भी personal life, family life, a healthy personal life or have family life, इस तरह के इंसान they cannot lead because they're not able to. Now, let's come to the effects of drug and alcohol abuse. कि क्या हो सकता है इफेक्ट इन ड्रग और अल्कोहल अब्यूज का, क्या इफेक्ट हो सकता है? ऑल्दो एक ब्रॉडर पर्सपेक्टिव में हम सब जानते हैं, बट लेट्स स्पेसिफिकली टॉक अबाउट व्हाट कुड बी द इफेक्ट. सो इनको इफेक्ट्स को अंडरस्टैंड करने के लिए आई हैव डिवाइडेड इट इनटू टू फॉर्म्स. वन इज व्हाट इज द इमीडिएट इफेक्ट एंड अदर इज व्हाट आर द फार इम्प्लीकेशंस. So let's first of all look at the immediate effects. It is reckless behavior, vandalism, that is gundagardi, this kind of चाहे बिल्कुल out of control behave करना, and violence. ये कुछ common properties है जिसकी वजह से okay, this line I don't know why it has come over here. Okay, so please ignore this one. This one by mistake I think I have copied over here. ये कहीं और जाना था. So reckless behavior, vandalism and violence is the most common immediate effect which we can see in our everyday life as well, because people living around us are like that. Some of them are like that. Then aggressive and rebellious behavior, very common specifically in the adult sense. Depression, fatigue, withdrawal and isolation. ये कुछ कॉमन आप बोल सकते हैं प्रॉपर्टीज है या इफेक्ट है जो कि immediately after taking the drugs these things would develop in that particular person. Now more deteriorating relationships with family and friends, जैसा हमने पहले ही बात की थी कि बिकॉज दिमाग सही तरीके से काम कर ही नहीं रहा है तो आप सोचने के काबिल नहीं हो, कुछ समझने के काबिल नहीं हो विदाउट दैट ड्रग. तो ऑब्वियसली धीरे धीरे फैमिली के साथ, फ्रेंड्स के साथ रिलेशनशिप्स बहुत ही ज्यादा डिटोरेट कर जाते हैं, बहुत ज्यादा खराब हो जाते हैं. चेंजेस इन स्लीपिंग पैटर्न एंड फ्लक्चुएशन इन वेट, एपेटाइट एंड लैक ऑफ पर्सनल हाइजीन. द मोस्ट अगेन ये कुछ कॉमन चीजें हैं जो वी हैव सीन दैट स्लीपिंग पैटर्न, जब कोई स्लीपिंग पैटर्न नहीं है, जब इच्छा हो रहा है सो जा रही है, जब नींद आ रही है, जब कभी भी उठ जा रहे हैं, देयर इज नो स्पेसिफिक स्लीपिंग पैटर्न. फ्लक्चुएशन वेट, कभी वेट गेन हो रहा है, कभी लूज हो जा रहा है, अगेन देयर इज फ्लक्चुएशन इन दैट. एपेटाइट इज वन ऑफ द वेरी बिग थिंग जिसमें एपेटाइट बहुत इफेक्ट होता है. जनरली इट हैज बीन सीन दैट कि एपेटाइट बहुत कम हो जाता है. ओके, वेयर एज स्पेसिफिकली हेम्प में, मैरिजुआना में जिनको आई वाज रीडिंग दिस, मैरिजुआना एडिक्शन जिनको होता है उनका एपेटाइट मल्टीपल टाइम्स बढ़ जाता है एज कंपेयर टू द यूज ऑफ अदर ड्रग्स. एंड लैक ऑफ पर्सनल हाइजीन. So a person who is not able to think straight, जो सीधा सोच नहीं सकता, समझ नहीं सकता, so how these minute details of like maintaining a personal hygiene will matter to them. For students specifically, drop in academic performance of students, absence from school, college and loss of interest in hobbies. ये bunking is one of the something जो कि commonly college students या school students में देखा गया है who have this kind of behavior, we have this kind of addiction or dependence. And उसके बाद suppose if the person was a very good sportsman, ठीक है, स्पोर्ट्स बहुत अच्छा करता था, उसको फिर कुछ समय के बाद उस स्पोर्ट्स में भी कोई इंटरेस्ट नहीं रहता. अगेन it's like many problems arises because of one specific habit. Now let's see the far-reaching implications. Habit of stealing on getting money to buy drugs, alcohol, etc. Yes. Maharashtra में there was a survey done in specific कुछ गांव के एरिया थे, उसमें वहाँ पे जब एक NGO ने स्टडी किया था तो वहाँ पे उन्होंने देखा कि 11 से लेके 17 साल की उम्र के बच्चे में वहाँ पे स्पेसिफिक एरिया में बहुत ज्यादा ये चेन स्नैचिंग, फिर से छोटी मोटी डकैती, ये सब बहुत ज्यादा हो रही थी. एंड इसमें ज्यादातर बच्चे इन्वॉल्व थे, ये 11 से 17 साल के एज में. जब उनको देखा गया, एनजीओ ने ये किया गया कि व्हाट इज एग्जैक्टली रीजन बिहाइंड, देन दे सेड दिस थिंग, उन्होंने भी फाइंड आउट किया कि उनमें से 98% बच्चे दे यूज टू डू दिस, ये अच्छी फैमिली से बिलोंग करते थे, बट दे यूज टू डू दिस सो दैट दे कैन गेट मनी to buy these drugs and alcohol, because घर से तो obviously they will never get the money. So this is one of the research, this is one of the जो एक statistics जो मुझे मिला कि ये एक far reaching implication है, जो कि एक आप बोल सकते हैं this is beginning of the criminal nature somewhere. Second, mental and financial distress to not just the to click but to the person, but to his and her entire family and friends. ये ऑब्वियसली अगर घर में खासकर अगर बच्चा इस तरह का नेचर का हो जाए, इस तरह का हो जाए, इट्स द फैमिली कैन नेवर बी नॉर्मल, वो फैमिली कभी भी शांति से नहीं रह सकती, बिकॉज द पर्सन अफेक्ट्स द होल फैमिली. उसमें फैमिली का फाइनेंशियल स्टेटस, फाइनेंशियल, मेंटल, हर तरीके के एस्पेक्ट्स में बहुत ज्यादा डैमेज होता है, प्रॉब्लम आती है. एंड सेम गोज विद द फ्रेंड्स एज वेल. Alcohol use in adolescence may lead to heavy drinking in adulthood. So it's quite obvious. A child, a teenager who got introduced to alcohol in adolescence. So आगे जाके the amount is not going to go less. वो ज़्यादा बढ़ते चलेगा. Excessive use damage nervous system and cause liver cirrhosis. When you study liver cirrhosis ना, तो उसमें 2 type actually depending upon alcohol के use पे 2 type differentiate किया जाता है causes में. One is alcoholic, other is non-alcoholic. So one category of liver cirrhosis is entirely dedicated to the alcohol only, the use of alcohol only. So these are the far-reaching implications. There are some more. Higher risk of infections like AIDS and hepatitis B transfer through sharing of infected needles and syringes. Because जहाँ पर्सनल हाइजीन का ध्यान नहीं है, so how they will think about these things, very basic things that the person, nobody should share their syringes and all. So जो खासकर injectables, जब injectables लेते हैं इस दौरान they generally do that, they share the same needle, and this is one of the around 4 to 5% of youth or adolescent में जो आपका AIDS का कारण है is this if infected needles and syringes in India specifically. Now, sports person taking up certain drugs, steroid, etc., in order to enhance their performance, but there is a problem as well. Suppose they are doing very well immediately, immediate use में बड़ा अच्छा काम कर रहे हैं, they are performing really well. But a prolonged use of this may cause premature closure of growth centers. It is specifically for the adolescents, those who are very good in sports. So prolonged use of this may cause premature closure of growth centers of long bone and can also cause facial and body acne in adolescents. ठीक है, ये जिसमें body acne is a very थोड़ा uncommon kind of thing है, जो कि facial acne is then also there, but body acne is one very uncommon kind of thing. Okay. There is one more. One more, I think I forgot to write it here, but I will tell about it. Specifically, if you talk about the infection in the if pregnant mother is taking, अगर कोई pregnant mother इस तरह का drug abuse कर रही है during the pregnancy, so it is going to damage the fetus. ये fetus को बहुत ही जबरदस्त तरीके से damage करता है. Specifically देखा गया है facial deformities. One of the most common bone deformities or facial deformities जो है which has been seen, and such kind of child, जब इस तरह के बच्चे जन्म लेते हैं तो उनका रेस्पिरेटरी जो सिस्टम होता है वो भी देखा गया है बहुत ही कॉम्प्रोमाइज स्टेट में रहता है. मीन्स ऑल टुगेदर these kind of these kind of pregnant mothers, they don't give birth to a healthy child at all. Now ये सब तो सारी बात हो गई about what could be actually these are the dangers of the drug abuse जिसके बारे में हमने बात की है. But as positivity पे पूरी दुनिया कायम है, so we are going to talk about the positive aspect of it, the how to come out of this. So we are eventually going to talk about the prevention and control. So we all know this, prevention is always better than cure, the most famous proverb, I guess. when but ये specifically और भी ज़्यादा ज़रूरी और भी ज़्यादा important हो जाता है when it comes to drugs and alcohol abuse. Some of the measures that will help in preventing the problem of drug and alcohol abuse among adolescents are: number one, avoid undue peer pressure. I do this in my class because 12th May, this is the stage where after which the child generally go out. So I tell this thing that you are all throughout your life till now, you have been a good children, you have been a good child, you have, अपने संस्कार आपने याद रखे हैं. But after this, it becomes more important for you guys to remember your culture, what exactly are the culture which is given by your parents, because from here, after this class, after 12th, you are going to go into absolutely alien world where you will see multiple, where you will meet multiple kind of people with different kind of perception who can push you for doing something जो आप अंदर ही में जान रहे हो which is not correct, but फिर भी because of the pressure of so-called friend you are doing it. So it's very necessary to understand or differentiate between the real friend or the so-called friend at this stage. So I generally say this in my class to the children. So parents must understand the abilities and personalities type of the child. A child should not be pushed for studies and sports, or that here I think peer and parents pressure was also there. I forgot to type it, I don't know how. So one more thing is, एक और कारण है parents का ये जो unnecessary and tremendous amount of expectation है बच्चों से. That I remember my elder daughter, she was in prep, yes, and we went for PTM. So my daughter, she got 15 out of 40, which is okay because ठीक नहीं था उसके लिए, वो काफी है, we are okay with that. But there was a student in her class, she got 39 out of 40, and मुझे याद है उसका sunflower का spelling गलत हो गया था. And the kid is in prep, and her mother was scolding like anything that तुमको इतना बार याद कराया था sunflower का spelling, तुम कैसे गलती कर दी? So these are not good scenes to be seen. That parents कौन से level तक बच्चों को ले जाना चाहते हैं. It's good to be attentive towards your children. उनको सही रास्ता दिखाना जरूरी है. But specifically आज के डेट में it is very necessary to understand their pluses and minuses and make them more confident child. एक confident child बनाना चाहिए as compared to telling them what to do. We need to make them so confident कि वो अपना रास्ता खुद ही बनाए and confidently सही चीजों को करते हुए आगे बढ़े, rather हमारे बनाए हुए रास्ते पे चले. This is, I think, is right according to the changing environment, changing situation. Second is education and counseling. It's very necessary that the parents and specifically teachers in this kind of situation has got grand role when it comes to educate and counsel such kind of children. That it is okay to face difficult situation. आज के लिए आज के बच्चों के साथ प्रॉब्लम ये हो गई है कि उन्होंने बहुत ही मिनिमम रेंज ऑफ इमोशंस उनको समझ में आते हैं एंड बहुत ही मिनिमम रेंज ऑफ इमोशन को वो टैकल कर पाते हैं बहुत जल्दी. they give up कर देते बहुत जल्दी. That this is kind of situation I'm not able to handle this. This is the kind of situation I'm not. This is a general thing. But it is okay. We need to educate the parents and the teachers. We need to educate them that failures are as important as achievements. So इस तरह के stress, disappointments and failures, these also should be taken in a healthy way. Because failures or disappointments tells us where we are lacking. So if you are serious about what exactly you are trying to do, so you work upon those disappointments, those gray areas, and then obviously you're going to flourish next time. You're going to achieve your goal next time. So counseling, education of the parents, of the teachers, and counseling by them is really, really, really important. Yes, next is seeking help from parents and peer. जो आप सबने हम सभी ने ये चीज फेस की होगी, स्पेसिफिकली इन द स्ट्रक्चर सोसाइटी जिस तरह का इंडिया में स्ट्रक्चर्ड है, दैट स्पेसिफिकली लाइक द डॉटर्स और द मतलब इस तरह की बात हो कि बच्चे एक सर्टेन एज के बाद दे आर नॉट एज ओपन टू देयर पेरेंट्स. अगर किसी तरह की छोटी मोटी प्रॉब्लम आती है ऑल, सो वो अपने दोस्तों को बताना ज्यादा इजी समझते हैं एज कंपेयर टू द पेरेंट्स. Okay. So it is very necessary for us. That is not their mistake. यहाँ पे आता है, हमारी बात आती है. It's about regarding the parents that we need to right from beginning इतना विश्वास उनमें जगाना है अपने में that whatever kind of problem you have, I am going to be there for you always. So that whatever छोटे से छोटे problems हो, बड़े से बड़ी बातें हो, they should feel free. They should get the emotional support from the parent. That if I'm having some sort of problem, they will surely hear me out and they will help me in that. So this kind of belief is very necessary to instill in our children. बहुत जरूरी है. So in case of any academic and emotional problem, advice and guidance should be sought out from parents or trusted friends. Besides solving problems, it also helps in venting out feelings of anxiety, fear and guilt. Many times बच्चे इतना बोलते हैं, at least बस सुन ले what मेरा क्या सोचना है, at least you should just listen to it. Okay? तो ये सुनना ही उनके लिए काफी होता है. So it's very necessary for us as parents to understand, to be open, to instill this kind of belief in them कि I am always there for you. So I should be the first person in this world, if you have any sort of problem, that should know about that problem. Okay. Next is looking for danger signs. ये individual के लिए ज़्यादा important है, because somehow we all know what is right, what is wrong. So इसीलिए बहुत ज़रूरी है that the danger sign must be brought in light and must be told to parents and teachers if they find someone using drugs or alcohol. So if we know somebody is using that, so we should take proper measure to prevent that person, motivate other to, so that, see, it's not necessary every time somebody gets motivated by, talking to them or something. बहुत बार एक indirect motivation भी होता है, that there is some sort of person is using it, so I could also use, okay, because nobody is saying anything to that person. So this is where we need to, tell them about what are the danger signs. आपका ये सोचना ही सबसे बड़ा danger sign है if you're thinking like that. This helps in preventing the person from drug abuse and initiating remedial steps. And next is seeking professional and medical help. जैसे I was telling you about कि अगर किसी को पता चलता है that मेरा बच्चा या family में somebody is having some sort of addiction, the first thing that they do is immediately उसको stop कर देते हैं, जिसका सबसे common reason देखा गया है, common outcome देखा गया है, that they start having this withdrawal symptoms, and that also violent one, जिसमें करीब 3 से 4% youth, specifically adolescents, they take their life. They suicide because they are not able to understand, they are not able to cope up with the situation. So इसलिए बहुत ज़रूरी है कि जैसे आप बोन की प्रॉब्लम के लिए ऑर्थोपेडिक्स के पास जाते हो, वैसे ही द प्रॉब्लम्स रिलेटेड टू दिस काइंड ऑफ एडिक्शन एंड डिपेंडेंस we need to take help from the doctors, specifically psychologists, psychiatrists and rehabilitation programs, because they exactly know how to deal with these specific cases, how to deal with it, how to start with it, how they will take it further. So affected people have a lot of help available in the form of doctor, psychologist, psychiatrist and rehabilitation programs. An addicted person can get completely rid of the problem and lead a life perfectly normal and healthy life by getting help. So this belief should also be instilled in someone if who is ready to give up. So that person, उसको ये belief ये दिलाना होगा that अभी भी देर नहीं हुई है. Whenever you want to start afresh, you can do that. And for this, we need to meet the right kind of people who can help them in a proper way, in a professional way, because this is what they need at this end. So the moral of the story is, the more you use, the less you live. So this is the end of my slide, end of my presentation.
Thank
So
you,
I would,
madam.
sir, that
It was a
please,
nice one.
yeah.
It was a nice one, very nicely presented.
So I request all the dignitaries present over here to share your views, and we have some amount of time, so if we can discuss regarding this topic.
Sometimes
Please.
in a family member also, like the smaller brothers or sisters, if they are there, they also look for the danger signs and they can inform their parents, and they can act as a licensing officer, like sort of that thing.
Whistleblowers.
Yeah, they should like communication link. And they should transfer the messages from this side to that side. Oh, okay, Bhaiya has this problem or Didi has that problem. Papa, you please look into this. Or Mama, please look into this. So this works. This works.
So other teachers, please.
One more point there may be, ma'am.
Yes, sir.
That these about whenever we are teaching students about this charas, ganja, hashish, marijuana, everything, and we must give some positive side also. They must be well informed about these things.
Yes.
Exactly. That means they should know the history of this. Since what time this has been used in Indian history, this has been these things are mentioned in the Vedas and Upanishads and wherever. मतलब folklore जो होता है ना, folk medicine and all this, तो वहाँ पे इन सब का इस्तेमाल हुआ because the medical science was not updated at that time. जो आज है वो उस वक्त नहीं थे. तो these things were only the option to get rid of certain problems the people used to suffer from, especially the soldiers जो लड़ाई लड़ करके आते थे, they were getting the treatment from these things only. I have this perception.
Okay, sir.
Ma'am, what I observed that change in social mindset, that also becomes a problem nowadays. Whatever we feel when we were in our childhood ages, we play anyway. If we start to abuse any person, either my parent or my friend's parent or anybody, whoever present over there, they try to stop all these things. But nowadays the scenario changes. Nowadays, if you say anything to anybody, violently he speaks. And this becomes a problem. If you want to talk to the parents of that child, the parent also start to talk in different way.
Yes, sir. I
So this type of situation, this type of situation also enhance the type of problem nowadays which are going on in the society.
Actually, people are not ready to take from others.
Yes.
Everybody has become, too much alert regarding their fundamental rights.
Yes.
So it's a very big quality, I think. If some person, you're giving some suggestion to somebody, and if you're actually taking it, that's a big quality.
In this context, madam, counseling will work better.
Yes, sir.
Counseling
Right.
is
Yes,
better.
exactly.
Yes.
And
You
for
should take
counseling, we also supposed to be well informed.
Right.
The parents
Counseling
also
will
should
work.
be well informed.
And withdrawal syndrome that we have told, and everybody should insist that how to take that very particular condition. If in that scenario directly stopping will cause a lot of problem, mental problem, social problem, any problem may be arise. That's why counseling and doctor suggestion is better.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Ma'am, some students are using diluter that contains acetone. Ladies तो सब जानती होंगी, nail polish remover के रूप में यूज होता है. It acts as nail polish remover. It mainly contains acetone. Some students are using these days, I think, and it has great impact on the nervous system, especially backbone.
Sir, I was amazed to see when I was reading about these things that some of the children, they are using dirty fungal, fungus, that kind of socks, because this is specific smell, say it induces some sort of chemical reaction which works like a depressant. I was amazed and disgusted at the same time.
Alok sir,
And I also have heard about the whitener.
and I have personally observed that some drivers in petrol,
Yes, sir.
they
Yes.
are taking petrol or even diesels. Can you imagine, sir? I have already observed, sir. Some persons are taking petrol or even diesel.
Whether they drink this, sir.
Sir, dendrite also, sir. Dubey, sir?
Dendrite.
Dendrite, yes. Dendrite also I have seen. Dendrite.
Used to, yeah,
Get
street
dendrite.
children at the platform, some street children, they are using dendrites by spreading
Yes,
on
sir.
their towel, gamcha.
Yes, sir.
Sir,
Sir, I would like to draw the attention. Hello. I would like to draw the attention, particularly of Gajendra sir. He is from Mithilanchal. In Mithilanchal, generally in the older people, it is a habit to use this,
Hookah.
what is its name?
Bhang.
Bhang.
Offender of
And they take it. And they take it as it is good for their digestive system. So, sir, is there any scientific base for such type of belief?
I don't think so, sir. Actually, sir, it gives hallucinogenic property.
Actually,
I am also from Mithilanchal, and as I gave the
It
example of my
slows
Nanaji.
down the nervous system already described.
Sir, I would like to share that once I had gone to Patna in Aryavart and Indian Nation Press. These presses were of the Langa Maharaj, and there was one people. He was an employee of the Aryavart and Indian Nation Press, and he used to grind this bhang and supply it to the employees. I have seen it personally. I have seen it.
sir, when they say that it is good for digestion, actually the water which they take in plenty amount, that works. And mood swings due to that bhang. तो डाइजेशन में पानी ज्यादा पीते हैं लोग, इसलिए वहाँ पर रोल होता है.
अच्छा, ठीक है सर. Thank you. Very good.
Sir, is it right to say that, sir? More video games are more addictive than drugs?
पान खाने की आदत को.
Revati sir is saying something.
Sir, I want to say that is it right to say that, sir, video games are more dangerous, addictive than drugs, sir?
Yes, sir.
Video games addictive.
Certainly, yes.
They are
certainly,
due to
yes.
they used to they have adverse impact on the mind, and the child used to be just addictive. Until unless he will not be using that game, he will not be doing any work. That's why they are addicted.
In future, along with drug and alcohol abuse, in the syllabus, this also may be there. That
Yes.
video games and all that type of games are also the abuse thing.
Gaming abuse should be there.
Yes.
Sir, yes, sir. In the days of lockdown, students and so many children got abused that they become addicted with this video
Yes,
game.
yes.
Ma'am, why we are telling about only students? In these
Children
days,
also.
mobile,
Yes,
mobile
everybody.
we are using, all of us are
Everyone,
using
everyone.
mobile, and
You
I
can say
hope that
everybody.
without that we can't sleep.
course,
ये
sir.
परिस्थिति है. अभी किसी भी व्यक्ति से पूछा जाए, वो लास्ट तक हाथ में मोबाइल रख करके ही सो जाते हैं. तो ये तो एडिक्शन है. बच्चे का ही सिर्फ दोष नहीं, इसमें एडिक्शन सबके लिए है. जब तक
एक
लाइफ
बात-
में आया
सर एक क्वेश्चन है सर एक क्वेश्चन है मेरा
I also have a question. I just want to ask that क्या हम लोग ये बोल सकते हैं कि अगर ह्यूमन बींग्स का इवोल्यूशन हो रहा है इसी ढंग से कि लोग एडिक्शन में भी इवोल्यूशन हो रहा है, लोग एडिक्ट होते जा रहे हैं और ज्यादा होते जा रहे हैं, कुछ नहीं मिल रहा है तो किसी भी चीज से, पेट्रोल से एडिक्शन हो जा रहा है, किसी स्मेल से एडिक्शन हो जा रहा है, क्या पहले भी ऐसा होता था कि अब और ज्यादा बढ़ता जा रहा है, तो टेंडेंसी बढ़ती जा रही है लोगों में इस चीज की जल्दी एडिक्ट होने की?
मैम मुझे लगता है इसमें क्या है ना, साइकोलॉजिकल फ्रेजिलिटी बहुत बढ़ गया है। मतलब हमारे टाइम पे क्या होता था कि मतलब मुझे याद है कि मेरे पापा मम्मी तो सीधे बोलते थे कि हाँ दीजिए 2 थप्पड़ टीचर को ही, टीचर बोलते थे दीजिए, मतलब हमारी तो स्टार्टिंग ही पिटाई से होती थी, मतलब इस टाइप का था। बट आज के टाइम में यू कैन नॉट इवन थिंक ऑफ एक शब्द नहीं बोल सकते हैं जो बच्चों को इमोशनली हर्ट करे। तो कहीं ना कहीं हमें लोग रिस्पॉन्सिबल है बच्चों को इतना अनफ्रेजाइल बनाने के लिए कि छोटा से छोटा चेंज इन एनवायरनमेंट वो टॉलरेट नहीं कर सकते।
लिबरल हो गए हम लोग, और ज्यादा लिबरल हो गए।
Mitra ma'am, now I would like to request our observer sir, S.K. Mishra sir, highlight he joined. So, Mishra sir, please.
Hello.
Hello, Mishra sir. Please, there is a request to all the participants here. They should not leave the session until and unless the permission is given by the coordinators. They should not leave. Yesterday, the last session, something very unpleasant happened that few teachers, few participants, they left the meeting before the permission was granted. So even if you have completed filling up your assessment feedback link, please be there in the session until and unless you are asked to leave. Thank you.
Hello,
I have
sir.
a question, sir.
Is a question, sir. Am I audible?
Namaste, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Sir, there is that term had come, analgesic, and some drugs are used as analgesic.
Analgesic is painkiller.
Is it? Yes. So is it suitable?
I think Neha Mitra.
Yes. Is it suitable to use them for fever? Means analgesics are used for fever or to reduce the pain.
Fever
What for exactly the analgesics are?
Analgesics are only for the pain. Pyretic drugs are for fever.
कितना मिनट
Yes. It is written like anti-inflammatory, antipyretic, analgesic. We work differently. So I thought of clearing this thing. And one more question has come that some drugs, they cause depression. Means excessive use, abuse causes depression. And also they are used for antidepressant. Means the contradictory role they are playing. कुछ डिप्रेशन ये यूज करते हैं, मतलब जिनके यूज से डिप्रेशन होता है उन्हें ही यूज किया जाता है एज एंटी डिप्रेसेंट. व्हाट डज इट मीन? 2 टर्म्स, एंटी डिप्रेसेंट एंड टू क्योर डिप्रेशन. Is that term same here? Antidepressant and depression. Are the 2 words same? 2 terms same? कुछ ड्रग्स को यूज किया जाता है टू क्योर एंटीडिप्रेसेंट्स. दे आर यूज्ड एज एंटीडिप्रेसेंट्स, मतलब ट्रैंक्विलाइजर्स. एंड सम ड्रग्स आर यूज्ड, excessive use may cause depression. Is it right? Am I audible and clear?
Yes. Sleeping drugs like diazepam in very small amount.
Yes, cyclopam. Yes.
That one is used only for the patients sleeping for sleeping habit.
Yes.
नींद आ जाए और पेन नहीं हो इसके लिए दिया था. But if the person is taking in huge amount, that will cause a lot of problem and depression.
It causes depression. What is antidepressant? Ultimately causes the depression. Okay, excuse. Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you, sir.
my request with the observer, sir.
I think observer sir is not here, sir.
Not here.
He is not here, sir. He just left the meeting, maybe due to some exigencies.
Alok sir, you have closed the chart. This one, it is blocked chart. I have sent.
Chat is not blocked, sir.
No, I have sent this link. At box, it is not going.
It has not come over here. It has not come.
In WhatsApp, I have sent.
Okay, so let me see, sir. Host controls.
I think. And okay.
It is on, sir. It is already on. Host control is send chat message is already on.
It is on.
Yes, sir. All buttons are on, sir.
Okay, then
anybody can share.
We are having time. We can discuss things.
Sir, I'll just try to send the link over here. I will try, sir.
Sir, if possible, molecular structure can be discussed, sir. If possible, molecular structure, morphine, chemical structure of morphine and cannabinoid molecules. Sir,
no, madam. No, madam. There is no need to discuss in detail the molecular structure of cannabinoids or morphine.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay, let me ask if you can give among you, either Alok sir, or Neeraj sir, Dubey sir.
Sir.
Anyone can say in this chapter, what is, in what way we should teach the students and which area we have to give emphasis more, and should we teach reflex action also? Reaction time, not reflex action.
Yes, sir. Reaction time. Yes.
It is the reaction time.
Yes,
Neeraj sir.
Yes, sir. Certainly. Reaction time must.
Alok sir, I will take 2 to 3 minutes for filling the.
Okay, sir. Till that time, sir.
Okay.
Reaction time must be explained.
Dubey sir.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Should we discuss reaction time?
Reaction time in NCERT or for +2, I don't think, sir. It alters reaction time. It slows down the CNS. So definitely it will alter the reaction time. Sir, क्लास 10th में भी सर आपने देखा होगा आता था कि अल्कोहल और ड्राइविंग से रिलेटेड क्वेश्चन बार-बार
पूछा जाता था. But we have to, because alcoholism is there.
सर मैं कुछ फोकस करूंगा सर, मुझे 2 मिनट दिया जाए, मैं बीच में भर रहा हूँ.
Okay.
So then with the example of this alcoholic, sir, जैसे वो truck drivers, they try to press the brakes, but since the message is going late due to blockage of these neurotransmitters, so reaction time increases and the truck driver presses the brake pedal when the accident is already taken place. This happens already. So this example can be given to the student. They can easily understand the reaction time. And some कुछ experiments भी कर सकते हैं सर इस पे.
And whatever the plants that belongs in this one, families for the entrance, just like the Atropa belladonna, 1 year I have seen. That one belladonna given which family it belongs. I think it is in the family also. The other plants we should discuss the family part.
Sir, I don't think we should go in much detail because the purpose of this chapter.
No, this side is okay, but in 1 year, as in the family description, it is given that belladonna belongs to which family. So that one is also this side. It's a plant. Medicinal plant generally in the family description we are getting, but that's why I am asking there may be the possibilities in the entrance to give more plants.
Yes, sir. For the entrance examination is applicable.
That I am asking, and these things can be highlighted by the Dubey sir also.
Yes, sir.
other teachers also, if they are, because earlier in our days also, if we have seen the questions, maximum time this belladonna they have asked, the family part. But this one is completely drug, and but we can little bit we can shift to the other side also while discussion of this chapter. That that is my point here.
Yes, sir.
What is your opinion? And it's okay. The while discussing, generally we should discuss that part also. Why the accidental case is more in case of the alcoholism. Their reaction time it becomes,
More.
I think, more, and they take the decision after the any incident or that one. Their reflex, I think, it not works.
Not works.
It not works properly. This one is one aspect.
Sanjay Mishra sir has again.
This one is one more aspect of this chapter in case of the alcoholism. Although it is not mentioned in the NCERT book, but we should give, I think, we should elaborate it also. And, next, if anyone can ask, like other teachers also. Satyendra sir.
Sir, some details about alcohol is given in chemistry in everyday life chapter also, I think, in class 12. About the percentage of alcohol the different kinds of drinks contain. So
it is there, sir.
I tell them that you can see that book, and the next day I ask them then that what is the percentage of ethanol in beer and wine and brandy and rum and all that. So they take quite interest and they know this very well. They can understand. Once they understand the effect of alcohol.
If sir has attended, then request to sir also.
Sir was there a moment ago, sir. He is not now here.
If you can also give this attendance, because from my side it is not, it shows blocked there in the messenger.
Sir, I have sent in the message.
All have got this attendance.
I have sent.
You have sent. Okay, then no problem. If anyone can ask, because we have started the session at 2:06, so we should end this one as 2:36 as for the 2.5 hours. So still 4 minutes or 5 minutes left. We can discuss something. We can discuss.
If the students are informed something about the rehabilitation centers, how these rehabilitation centers work, and what is the exact role of the medical professionals there, then
Other teachers, they may also ask if any question, any queries you are having or facing any difficulty while teaching, you can discuss here only. Just like one more term is the psychedelic effect.
psychedelic effect, yes, sir.
So that also we can discuss among the students. Psychotropic, psychedelic, and Tarkeshwar sir has joined in this today's
Today he has joined the first time, sir.
first time.
Yes, sir.
So Dubey sir may clear that part.
He is not here now, so he has left the meeting.
Tarkeshwar sir.
Yes, sir. He has left the meeting now.
Okay. So any Satyendra sir, Chakravarti sir, Aparna ma'am, Priya Jha ma'am.
Kiran madam has not asked even a single question, I think.
Say something.
Kiran madam from DAV Khalari, please.
Good afternoon, sir.
I think the voice is not audible, Kiran ma'am. Manpreet ma'am, please continue.
Yes, sir. If some some kind of project is given to the students, like I have made the project when I am in +2 on the drugs. I have pasted the pictures of the drugs and plants from which we are extracted the drugs, and I have written also the importance of that drugs in case of surgeries and in medicine, and also their harmful effects. So, if this kind of project is given to the students, will it be the beneficial for the students, or it will be harmful?
It will be a brilliant idea. Yes, madam.
Thank you.
And
Thank you.
often the students choose this, select this topic because it's quite easier
Yes.
to
Yes.
understand and explain before the external examiners also. They are very fond of selecting these kind of topics.
Dubey sir, are you here, sir? Dubey sir,
Yes, sir.
please highlight that point if any important things which we have to discuss in this chapter.
Sir, I have to answer two more questions, sir. I'm in question number 8.
Okay.
I haven't even started now, sir.
Okay.
Shall I stop the recording, sir? It is already 1 hour 30 minutes over.
Okay, stop the recording. Stop
Okay,
this
sir.
recording.
Okay, sir.